Finally, a fashion show with fashion. Sheree delivers a knockout fashion show with some pretty big Real Housewives of Atlanta veterans and alums in attendance. Also, we finally have the big answer to the big question we have been asking ourselves all season long. What is up with Marlo? I'm going to talk about all of that and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. Alright, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it all centers around the season finale of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14, where we finally saw a fashion show with fashion as Sheree delivers a knockout debut of her clothing line She by Sheree. We saw a lot of veteran housewives and Real Housewives of Atlanta alums in the building, and I must say it felt like 2008 all over again. And it also felt like 2012 because as soon as Apollo hit that runway, Kenya's face lit up. We're going to talk about all of that and more, but first let's talk about the big question that was answered on this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it deals with Marlo, and it really sheds some light into what Marlo may have been thinking and why she may have been acting the way she has been acting all season long. And it has a lot to do with the opening scene when she's meeting up with her mother and they're about to go shopping. And as they're going shopping, she's, getting herself pumped up, trying to talk herself into meeting her mom, because evidently whenever her and her mother get together, it's always a big fight, a big screaming match, and things always just go left. So Marlo decides to take her mother out in public for their first little meeting since she's been in town in order to keep some of the tension down. And within 1 minute of their meeting, I realized one thing about Marlo and why she does this other big thing. And it's this. Marlo has been gaslighting the ladies all season long. We have talked about this on numerous other reviews of Real Housewives of Atlanta this season. It is just something that Marlo just cannot stop herself from doing. And I always wondered, why does she do these types of things? And I realized within the first minute or two of her sitting down with her mother that Marlo gets a lot of her gaslighting from her mother. Her mother, as you know, is a former recovering drug addict. And it seems as if every time Marlo tries to hold her mother accountable for certain things that she did to Marlo in the past, her mother seems as if she's not willing to accept accountability. So she flips it back on Marlo to make it seem like Marlo is the bad person. Like, Marlo, why do you kick us out the house? Why do you put me out the house? Why don't you come around a lot? And Marlo's trying to explain to her mom is that I put you guys out the house because the house was turning into a not so safe environment for the boys. And so then her mother couldn't understand it, so she flips it back around to Marlo, where Marlo, you don't come around enough. You don't come around enough. And that's why the house turned the way it was turning. And then Marlo was like, well, Mom, I don't come around a lot because every time I come around and you're like in a drug rage or you've been missing for a couple of days, it always turns to a negative experience. So I'm trying to protect my peace. Does that sound familiar, kinfolk? Exactly. It sounds like the same arguments that she had with Kandi and Kenya. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand why she was not hearing what Kandi was saying, and especially why she wasn't hearing and understanding what Kenya was saying when she's been saying the same thing to her mother for all these years. And here's why. Marlo is unwilling to accept accountability for the things she has done to these ladies, the same way her mother is not willing to accept accountability for the things that she has done to Marlo in the past. And the same reason why Marlo does not go around her mother a lot, because Marlo says she's trying to protect her peace, is the same reason why Kenya refuses to come around Marlo as well, because she is trying to protect her peace. And I feel like when Kenya says these things to Marlo and when Kandi says these things to Marlo, it immediately puts her in the mindset of, they sound just like me talking to my mother. So that must mean I am just like my mom. And they see that. And instead of accepting accountability for her actions, what does she do? She gaslights them the same way her mother gaslights her when she's trying to hold her mother accountable. So now we have the answer to the big question. Why was Marlo doing all these crazy things that just didn't make sense? It's because she learned them from her mother, and she's felt like, well, if my mother kind of can use it to her advantage, maybe I can use it to my advantage. And also, it might be something that she does that she's not aware that she's doing it because she's just been around it for so long. And also, in this episode, we see Marlo not only projecting her own insecurities into her own friend group, but we also get another answer to a big question of where Marlo's fascination and love of clothes come from. And as Marlo was talking about some of the things that her mother did to her in the past, and how he got her sense of fashion and style from her mother, it all made sense why Marlo has this very innate feeling that she needs designer clothes, and her nephews need designer clothes, and she needs the best of everything, and they need the best of everything. And it's because of this. Marlo uses clothes to boost up her self-esteem and to cover up her insecurities, because it seems as if she internally feels like the reason why her mother could not let go of drugs and be a mother to her is because her mother, for some strange reason that Marlo feels or may think, that her mother doesn't see any value into Marlo, that Marlo was not good enough for her to come off of drugs and do right by her. So Marlo in turns take designer clothes and these designer experiences, and then she puts them on as an armor to deflect her negative thoughts about her mother not really being a mother to her and not really seeing value in having a relationship with her. So the clothes give Marlo a sense of belonging, a sense of value, and it really helps, in my opinion, Marlo with a lot of insecurity issues that she has pertaining to her mother. So with that being said, it really does seem like the root of Marlo's problems may actually come from her very rough relationship with her mother, and she seems to have like mom issues. And until she settles those issues with her mother, I don't think she's going to be able to move forward in this friend group in the manner in which she needs to do in order to repair these relationships. Because just like her mom could come around and make promises and try to do better. But just like Marlo said, the next couple of weeks or a month later, what is she doing? She's back missing for a while. She's back on drugs. The same thing that Kenya and Kandi said about Marlo, especially Kandi when she told Marlo, you can keep that fake apology. I don't want to hear it, because when you apologize 1 minute, then the next week or the next month, you're back to the same old habits. You're back doing to the same old thing. You're back to hurting us and hurting our friendships. So we don't want no more of that. And I really do feel like Marlo feels like they are talking to her the same way she's talking to her mother in the past. And this does that for Marlo. It really makes Marlo feel like she's becoming her mother. And I think that's what she is really running away from, being like her mother or being seen as if she's turning into her mother. Which is all valid things to be kind of like, aware of and to not want to emulate in her own life. But I just feel like that she is going about it the entirely wrong way. And if she ever wants to have a relationship with Kandi or Kenya, she's going to have to change the way she's thinking about the relationship. And she's going to have to make that true, dedicated change the way that she's asking her mother to make in their relationship. So, to me, it seems like Marlo may want to have it two ways, but she does have some internal work to do if she wants to see her relationships restored back to some good places between her and Kandi. Now, Kinfolk, now that we got that part out of the way, let's get to the light, fun-hearted part of this season finale of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me tell you something. It felt like 2008 all over again. I mean, every time I saw a former housewife or a former Housewives of Atlanta alum, I just started smiling from ear to ear. One clip, you see Dwight. The next clip, you see Deshaun, and I'm just like, oh, there go whatchamacallit. Oh, I remember her. Oh, there go Ed. Oh my goodness, he's there, she's there. And I just started smiling, and I found myself smiling at the screen throughout the entire second half of the show. And that is a nostalgia that a lot of Real Housewives of Atlanta fans that we have been asking for from the show. It is that show of support, that genuine show of support between the ladies and their friends that really make the show a sisterhood and something that we all can support and rally around. And also, this episode did this other good thing very well. This episode really gave Sheree that final change in her storyline, that 180. After this episode, I really look at Sheree as one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta heavy hitters now. I feel like she's one of those housewives like a Nene, like a Candy, like a Kenya, who's out here with these multi-million-dollar businesses and out here actually working and getting the thing started and getting it going. And let me tell you something. Sheree has really shown a lot of growth, because I thought she was only going to have 5 pieces on this runway. I really thought Sheree was going to turn this into another presentation or like a party type of vibe. But Sheree has a secret weapon in her arsenal, and that secret weapon is Rowan. Because Rowan, as you can tell, she's a very determined young lady. She's very intelligent. She's very professional, and you can really see that she wants the best for Sheree, and she by Sheree. So with Rowan on her team, and also she had the publicist from the Bell Collective working with her as well, Melanie, who's really good. I think that those ladies combined are really going to elevate Sheree to the place that she needs to be and the place that she's deserving to be as a Real Housewives of Atlanta OG. So with that being said, I only feel like it's going only up for Sheree. And also, I can see why they gave Sheree that first chair at the reunion this year. Sheree was so deserving of that first chair, because the way she ended this season on this high note, I mean, it really solidified her star power with the franchise, and it really showed us why Bravo keeps bringing Sheree back time and time and time again. Now, the other half of the show that I really liked, and I'm gonna prefix it with this. Next season, I want to see Tyrone back. Next season, I want to see Tyrone. I don't want to see Martell. I want to see Tyrone. Let me tell y'all, Apollo and Peter, they ran so Tyrone could fly. Tyrone was the comedic relief I did not know we needed this entire season. Why didn't they have him filming earlier? I do not know why. When he walked in there to that practice for the fashion show, the way he walked in, it reminded me of that meme that says, when my girl tell me don't come in this room on no BS, and he come in and the person comes in like dancing. That's the way Tyrone came in. I love Tyrone's energy. Yeah, it was frustrating to Sheree. I get that much, but it was hilarious, and I just could not stop watching. Tyrone came in there, Sheree was like, "You owe me an apology." Tyrone was like, "I owe you an apology. I owe you an apology. You doing stuff that's going to get me locked back up, and I owe you an apology? No, you owe me an apology." And I just fell on the floor when he did that. I just could not stop laughing. And then he just walked out and then came back the next day with the flowers all up on Sheree, telling her I'm sorry, trying to kiss her, trying to get pictures, trying to get press, brought her mama some flowers. He's smiling in front of the camera. We need Tyrone back. I just don't think Martell is going to give us what we need next season. We need Tyrone back. I'm not saying Sheree has to crawl back to him. I'm not saying Sheree has to get back in a relationship with him. I'm just saying we need Tyrone back for something. And not only that, I think we might need somebody else back for next season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it's this person. I didn't know that Apollo and Sheree had a very close relationship like they do. Did not know that at all. Also, I did not know that Apollo was still with his girlfriend who he was with when he first got out of prison. Did not know that until they, showcased her on this last episode. Now, before they showcased her, I was going to say we need to bring Apollo back because Kenya's face just lit up when Apollo walked down that runway. And it felt like 2012 again when Kenya said, Apollo's kind of foreign. Y'all remember that when she did that first couple of episodes of her first season, and he came down the runway and her face lit up. But I think that we need Apollo back in some type of capacity, maybe as a friend of Sheree, because I think Apollo, he showed something in these last couple of episodes that I think that we're absolutely missing from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it's that male presence. Because that scene that Ross did with Marlo and her nephews was really cool. I really enjoyed that because it really showed a different side of the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise, and it also showcased the franchise secret weapon, that's the men on the show. And so when I saw Apollo giving Sheree some sound male advice, and also when I saw Apollo somewhat chastising Tyrone for the way he was acting with Sheree, I was like, we need that good spirited male presence on the show. The type of presence that Greg really gave while he was on the show all those seasons. And so I really feel like we need Apollo back, and I think he would really mesh well into the current group of guys with Ralph and with Aaron and with Todd. I think it would be a great dynamic that I hope Bravo will explore. And so, Kenfo, with that being said, there's only one other thing to say about the Real Housewives of Atlanta season finale, and it's this. Bravo to Bravo, because they finally did what we have been asking them to do for so long, and that was bring back that sisterhood, that organic friendships, and that organic drama to where the ladies can go head to head. They can fight like cats and dogs, but at the end of the day, they always circle back around to the foundation of the show. It's showing success. It's showing triumph. It's showing sisterhood. And they did that when they rallied around Sheree at the end. And also you can see where Kandi and Kenya somewhat put their differences aside with Marlo. When Marlo came around, Kenya wasn't, rolling eyes or trying to get away from Marlo. She actually embraced her with open arms. Then we saw Kandi, sitting down with Marlo and Marlo's mom and them trying to find some common ground as well. And when you do those things like that, it keeps the show from taking a dark turn like it had been taking so many seasons back. Just so, in my opinion, to get ratings up. So when you keep the foundation of why you are showcasing these black women on this franchise, when you keep that foundation on the forefront, I feel like it keeps you from getting away from those messy type of arguments, those type of problems and issues and those fights that never seem to end. That always take the show on a dark path. But Kenfo, I must say bravo again to the producers. They did an excellent job. I noticed it was about 17 episodes this season, and I said this last season. One of the key things that make Potomac really good is because Potomac, they don't tend to draw out a season. They don't try to draw out drama. They hit you with that good, consistent balance of friendship, drama, and sisterhood, and they keep it moving. And so it made everything somewhat short, but very sweet and very impactful. So with that being said, I think Bravo has finally found their juice again with the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. As I've been telling you, the ratings were through the roof, and the ladies have regained their number one spot back in the Real Housewives universe over at Bravo. And I'm going to end it with this, Kenfolk. I'm just not sure if Portia and Nene are needed back on the show, especially if they're going to redirect it to that dark energy. Because if you're a Real Housewives of Atlanta fan, then you, one, really appreciate this season, and two, you really appreciate the changes that the network and producers made in order to give us what we have been asking for so long. So again, Another great season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I must say hats off to the cast and the crew, and I cannot wait to the reunion and to see what else the ladies are going to give us to end such a great season. Alright, kinfolk, if you enjoyed this season, let me know down in the comments section below. And if you didn't enjoy this season, let me know why also in the comments section below. And as always, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.